TFC2 substitutes for tonight's game are number 40. Defender number 32, Brandon Aubrey. Midfielder number 5, Ashton Morgan. Midfielder number 45, Midfielder number 63, Liam Fraser.
Cavalluzzo is an academy product, excellent shot stopper. He's got fantastic distribution. Jason Bent knows him really well. He worked with him in the academy, and this season his decision making's been spot on.
Shawn Hunter is a player that was explosive for Toronto last season, led the team with 6 goals, but has only appeared in 3 of the 7 games so far in 2017, Terry.
He's not had a lot of minutes with TFC2, but he's had a very busy schedule. He's been involved with Canadian World Cup qualifying for the under-20. He's been away at the Via Reggio tournament with TFC3.
Here's a look at how Jason Bent will line up the Young Reds this evening. We mentioned Cavalluzzo in goal, and the attacking tandem of Ben Spencer and Icom Andrews will be up front, looking to snap a lengthy goal streak for Toronto. And for Bethlehem, it'll be Jake McGuire between the pipes. He makes his team-leading 5th appearance in goal, and they will have the lone striker up front is Sekou Kone from the Netherlands. Toronto FC 2 and Bethlehem Steel FC both looking to get into the win column this evening. We'll have all the action for you, including kickoff, when we return. We are live from BMO Field, Toronto FC2 looking for their second victory of the 2017 campaign. Bethlehem Steel FC looking for their third. They are coming off a 1-0 victory over FC Cincinnati in their last game. So you see the windy conditions developing at BMO Field and perhaps a little bit of rain as well. It was a 40% chance of showers for this evening, and it does look like those showers have begun at BMO Field. Temperature 14 degrees Celsius, that's 57 Fahrenheit at kickoff. And you do see the raindrops coming down. Toronto FC2 in the red jerseys and Bethlehem wearing the all-white kits. Terry, for Toronto, first and foremost, obviously they want to defend, but they also need to start scoring some goals as well. 4 straight clean sheets against, a 420-minute goal drought going all the way back to the 30th minute of their April 4th contest against Orlando City B. How do they get on the board tonight?
I think it's difficult to be too harsh on them. Yes, you need goals, but 6 of the first 7 games have been away from home. They've changed system this year. They've gone into a 3-5-2 system similar to the first team. And away from home, you want to be compact. You want to build on something. So that defensive shape has been excellent. The fact that they haven't conceded, they've only conceded 1 in 4, but they do need to score goals. And for me, I think they've missed Raheem Edwards this year. He's gone up to the first team and he's been excellent. Drew a penalty today against Minnesota in a 3-2 win just earlier. But I think movement off one another is important. They need to get more crosses into the box. Set pieces is an opportunity. And also with some defensive play, try to intercept some passes higher up the pitch.
Yeah, you mentioned the number of clean sheets. That streak was broken on May 3rd at Pittsburgh. It was 3 consecutive clean sheets for Cavalluzzo. They have 4 on the season, which is tied for the second most in the USL. But of course, as we mentioned, they only have scored twice on the season, 1 in their season opening victory at Phoenix and 1 in the loss to Orlando. Luca Uccello, a player that maybe we want to keep an eye on this evening. He only scored 3 goals last season, but 2 of them came in those victories against Bethlehem. So maybe he has a secret to success for cracking this Bethlehem lineup.
Yeah, the young academy product. He's developing nicely. Sometimes there's teams that you play against and you just click. He scored some real important goals against them. I think this system suits him down to the ground nicely. He's one of the attacking midfielders in that triangle. He'll play as an 8, just opposite Liam Fraser in the middle of the park.
And another player to keep an eye on as well, number 5 for Toronto, Ashton Morgan, returning from a foot injury. This is really his first meaningful game action of the 2017 season, Terry.
Yeah, he's been back training 2 or 3 weeks. This week he trained with TFC2. His leadership will be real important for TFC2 tonight.
So Toronto, as I mentioned, in red. They will be going from right to left on your screen here. And Bethlehem from left to right in white. They will get the ball to start the second half. We're just awaiting the referee's whistle to begin tonight's match from BMO Field. There it is. We are underway. Toronto possessing first, looking to snap that lengthy goals drought, as we mentioned. And here's Uccello. Looking for a call there, perhaps, but none coming from the referee. And that is swung out by Bethlehem keeper Jake McGuire, making his 5th start of the season, 4 goals allowed on 19 shots in his previous 4 matches to this point this season. Easily the biggest workload of the 3 goalkeepers that have been used. This one comes down to Cavalluzzo, and he collects it easily. They have used 2 other goalkeepers so far this season, and a 4th goalkeeper, Jamali Waite, is their reserve for tonight's game. Cavalluzzo has had some accolades this year as well. He won the Save of the Week for Week 6. He was a reserve on the Team of the Week in Week 5 and won a spot on the Team of the Week again in Week 6. We are in Week 8 in the USL season. That headed on goal by Ben Spencer and easily into the arms of McGuire. Pushed forward from midfield, but Cavalluzzo is the first one to get to it, and we'll send it back up to midfield for Toronto. That's headed away.
Good
Comes
idea
down now
from
for Fraser.
Good idea from the Bethlehem Steel to try to break down this 3-5-2 system. You look to try to get down the channels, down either side of Mitch Tainter or Alseth.
First foul of the match won by Toronto. I believe that was Jordan McCrary who was the victim. Tainter, where's the captain's armband for Toronto this season? His through pass could not connect with Spencer, and it comes right to Maguire.
Great opportunity for the boys today to play on BMO. Normally they play at Ontario Soccer Centre on a tricky surface on the turf there. They really relish playing on the grass. They've had to skip to their step in training this week. Before the game today, I spoke to Jason Bent-Matt and asked him whether they were going to watch the first team game against Minnesota. He told me they were allowed to watch half of it, and then they needed to get into the zone, get into the changing room. So they missed the very entertaining second half.
Only two of the players in tonight's roster were in the two games played there back in 2015, that being Liam Fraser and Luca Uccello. A win and a draw for Toronto in those two games back in June of 2015, a 0-0 draw with Harrisburg City and a 1-0 victory over Wilmington on a absolutely dreadful night at BMO Field. It was pouring rain, really whipping winds, and Jordan Hamilton scored in injury time of the first half, and it was a 1-0 victory over Wilmington. I think there might have been 50 people in the stands that night, Terry.
Sounds like a beautiful soccer night to me. Bad weather, a win. What else would you want to ask for, man?
Well, they got the 3 points, so that's really all they wanted on that evening, and that's crossed into the box looking for Andrews, but it's defended well by Bethlehem.
And what a difference to BMO with the new roof built that came in last season. It's incredible. It reminds me of Arsenal's old ground.
It's pushed forward by Toronto. This comes to Andrews. He's got Spencer there, has Endo as well. There's a right-footed strike and handled easily by Maguire off the right boot of Ben Spencer.
Good to see the front two linking up. They've not played up front together a whole bunch, Icom and Ben Spencer. They need to play close together to one another. Finds him with a square pass, and Ben Spencer hits the target. Ben Spencer just recently signed a contract to the first team.
Push forward again for Andrews. Looked like he was trying to chip that out wide for McCrary, but it went just a bit too far, and it will be a throw-in for Bethlehem. We are just under 5 minutes played here at BMO Field. No score. Looking to pick out Spencer in the middle again was McCrary.
This is where I'd like to see TFC2 really emulate the first team. Ben Spencer there tries to set the press off. The first team in this 3-5-2 system press extremely high, and they turn over the ball in some very good areas. As soon as there's a square pass or a bad touch, these two TFC2 players need to be all over it.
Terry, for some of the younger players, talk about what the experience might be like. They've played in some of these bigger stadiums on the road. We know Cincinnati's got a big stadium. Phoenix has a big stadium. But the first time that they get to experience that as a home player.
It's brilliant. I was fortunate enough to play here a lot for TFC's first team, also the Canadian national team. It's brilliant. The experience of being in the changing room, walking out through the tunnel, all for one sign above you. You feel a little bit closer to the first team. And one thing I love about football is things can change so quickly. A couple of good performances and an injury in the first team, and you could be right out there with Javinko.
There's a long ball and a cross in, looking to connect with Kone. The cross coming from Corey Burke. And it goes out for a goal kick, but the first good opportunity of the evening for Bethlehem.
Another good ball in behind. Just gets in behind the captain, Mitch Tainter there. Crosses it across the box. And Alseth at the back post does an excellent job to just feel Kone out of the way.
Cavalluzzo gets us back underway. Headed forward. Andrews unable to win that. On the far side there is Chris Nanko, the North York native, coming home and making his first start of the season for Bethlehem. He's played in 2 games prior to this evening. So he'll likely have some friends and family looking on.
Good quick feet from Nanko there, just skips past Alseth. Alseth's not an easy defender to go past.
Frazier defended well there by Burke. Now here's an opportunity into the area, and it's going to be a penalty. Marcus Epps pulled down by Mitch Tainer. And Bethlehem in the 8th minute will get an opportunity from the penalty spot.
Mitch Tainer needs to do better there. Just earlier, he doesn't learn his lesson. Epps gets him behind him. And then again, similar sort of run. Epps gets him behind him. It's tough to see whether he really clips his heels. At full pelt, it doesn't take much for him to go over. Maybe there's a little bit of contact. Epps makes the most of it. Definitely Mitch Tainer gets wrong side of him. I don't think he needs to foul him. There was cover there from Aubrey.
And it's deposited into the back of the net by Corey Burke. His first goal of the season gives Bethlehem the lead.
Corey Burke casually tucks out the way with the inside of his foot. Cavalluzzo goes the wrong way. Excellent player, Burke. 3 caps for Jamaica.
Let's take a look at the play that resulted in the penalty again. Tainer does look like he pulls on the left arm. And then Cavalluzzo goes right.
Yeah, I think it's more for the clip on the heel, possibly. He's trying to make up for being caught high up the pitch. But he's got to be confident. Aubrey's come around on the cover. As a sweeper, that's your role. And I think he's going to cover him there. And TFC, too, aren't in that much trouble.
So for the second consecutive game, the Young Reds will play from behind. This time a penalty goal scored by Corey Burke, again his first of the season. And another foul drawn there by Bethlehem.
Jason Bent will be disappointed with that. It's just one ball in behind that beats him. It wasn't great play, a real intricate play from Bethlehem.
In the 2-3-2 victories last season over Bethlehem, Toronto opened the scoring both times. Luca Uccello in the 2nd minute in the first game at Toronto, and Shawn Hunter in the 16th minute. So early goals are the flavor of these matchups, but a lot of goals are also the flavor of these matchups. As we mentioned, 5 goals in each of the 2 matchups last season. We know the coaches want a more defensive game played from both sides. We'll see if that's what comes about here this evening.
These are great games, though, to really test where you're at. The Bethlehem Steel affiliate of the Philadelphia Union, obviously TFC2 of TFC, to just see where your club is and test the young players. It's almost like for like.
And that was part of the sentiment coming from the Bethlehem Steel coaching staff this week. I was reading some of their press clippings, and they said they acknowledge it. It's a team that they're relatively on par with, at least in terms of placement in the standings. And he said that's the type of team that you want to be able to go in and take 3 points from on the road, not just play for the draw.
Yeah, the Bethlehem Steel, they've only played 6 games this season, 4 of them at home, and their only wins so far this season have been at home to Cincinnati, and they've lost their other 4 games. Yeah,
0-2 as the visitors this season. They are looking for more. There's a cross in headed away by Aubrey. And this comes to James Chambers. He wears the captain's armband, and tonight making his 30th appearance for Bethlehem Steel FC and becoming the all-time leader in appearances for this franchise that is in just its 2nd season. But congratulations to James Chambers, passing former Toronto FC player Ryan Richter.
Yeah, very good player. very experienced, 30 years of age, played in the League of Ireland for quite a while. Not the most athletic, but he's the player for the Bethlehem Steel that'll control the tempo of the game, take all their set pieces.
Toronto, most unfortunately, are 0-3-0 this season when their opponent has scored the opening goal. So a trend that they're looking to reverse this evening. For the moment, they just love to get level as the shutout streak reaches over 430 minutes.
At the moment, the two wide players, Nanko and Epps, are causing TFC2 some problems. I think what they need to do is try to get a little bit higher up the pitch and cut out the service to them.
Spencer back for Frazier. That pass is picked off by Epps, and he'll start a quick counter for Bethlehem, but it's disrupted by Spencer. Pass picked off by Aubrey. Trying to push forward for Toronto. Back into the middle for the Plano, Texas native. And now to the near side for Ashton Morgan. He has played, there's a header on goal from Spencer, and it's snapped up by McGuire. I was going to say Ashton Morgan is familiar with playing in this building, has played many games for the First Club Toronto FC and some experience for the Canadian national team in this building as well.
Yeah, I've played a ton of games with him. Great player, local Torontonian, great servant to the club. Can play as left back. I think this system as a left wing back really suits him down to the ground. He's not going to go past players. He'll look to link with players, and he's got an excellent delivery from deep, as we just saw there.
Headed out by Brandon Aubrey, the 21st overall selection of TFC in this year's MLS Super Draft. The rookie getting a lot of playing time with the Young Reds this season. Was that center back, a position that for years TFC had some struggle filling, and perhaps they're hoping that they are able to develop their own talent from within for that position.
At the moment now, it's probably their deepest position. You think of the first team now, Drew Moore, Zavaleta, Haglin, Mavinga, he played well today. The team's extremely deep there.
There's Luca Uccello. Pass for Morgan. Not enough pace on it, and he'll have to run it down, and sends that off of Marcus Epps and out for a throw.
It's difficult for Jason Bent and also the team to build that cohesiveness. Just there, Uccello and Morgan were on different wavelengths. He was trying to lend the ball to Morgan. Morgan was trying to run in behind. These players don't train together with each other a whole bunch, and that makes it difficult for Jason Bent, and it's a fine line for him. He's trying to develop players for the first team, but also get results.
Icom Andrews plays it up on the far side. Here's an opportunity for Toronto. Andrews has a go, stopped by McGuire. Best scoring opportunity of the evening for Toronto comes here in the 15th minute.
Yeah, good play from TFC2. It looks like the play had just broken down. McCreary can't quite get out of his feet. He finds Andrews. Andrews, first time strike. Good handling from McGuire.
Thrown into Epps. He'll send it out to the far side. Now into the middle of Chambers. It's Nanko working up that left side, pushing it in, and that looks like it was deflected. And it's going to go out for a corner.
McCreary does well, tracks real all the way back. Nice play again from the North York Torontonian Nanko on the left-hand side. Just before that, you can see Chambers. He's always available in midfield. He's that link player for the Bethlehem Steel.
It'll be number 43, Chris Wingate, the Norwegian, who will swing this in. We have a pair of Norwegians in tonight's game, one on each side. Oyvind Alseth, number 27 for Toronto, hails from Trondheim.
Yeah, very good player, Alseth. I know the club got high hopes for him. He actually played for the assistant coach Chris Pozniak's winning KW side in the PDL Championship in 2015, 65th overall pick this year. TFC's first team isn't the deepest at that right wing back, right side, and he possibly could be an option further down the line for Greg Vanny.
That's going to be a foul called on Bethlehem, as I believe that was Nanko, who thought he was going to get away with it and have a scoring opportunity. There's Aubrey. That was Alseth, who was not able to push it down the field effectively. And it'll be thrown in by McCrary. Now Alseth. Subasa Endo. Alseth. Aubrey. Tainter. Frazier. Alseth. McCrary receives from Endo. Endo gets it back again. Now Frazier. That pass in for Spencer looked like he was trying to deflect it over, and it ends up rolling down to Jake McGuire, who will slow the pace.
Tough ball from Liam Frazier. It comes at the end of TFC's probably best passing passage. They played through the lines a few times and just ran out of ideas. Liam Frazier forces it into Ben Spencer. His way to pass was just a little bit too heavy. I would have liked to see him come out wide here to the left-hand side to Ashton Morgan.
Capeluzzo sends that airborne. It's headed forward. Aubrey went up with Kane. He's able to win it for Toronto. There's Spencer. Tainter.
The TFC2's attack is just dying a little bit. Both their wide players in the wing-back roles, Morgan and McCrary, are more like left and right fullbacks when it comes to them. They're not looking to be positive like, say, Raheem Edwards was last season and really get at the fullback. They're looking to link. Ben Spencer needs to come over. Andrews needs to come over where they can find it into their feet.
Now here's an opportunity again for Bethlehem. Shot right on to Capeluzzo, and he has no trouble with that.
Takes the wrong option there for me, Matt. He needs to keep running with it and then look for one of his strike partners inside. 2 or 3 Bethlehem Steel players made some great run in the box.
There's Morgan out wide on the left. Andrews for Endo. Pushes up looking for McCrary. And that was well won by Matt Reel. Left back for Bethlehem. He's played in, looking across. Comes back for Andrews, and he is not able to get a good shot. There's a strike, and it rolls wide. Andrews looked like maybe he fanned on the shot, and he was down in some pain. And then it came to Frazier.
Yeah, very good.
Shot it wide.
Yeah, good play from TFC2. All comes from a very dynamic run from Endo, getting to the corners. Wingate, I think, just gets enough on it where the ref can't give a penalty on Andrews, and comes to Liam Frazier and just snatches at it a little bit.
Played in for Uccello. Back for Uccello again. That's Frazier. Frazier switches to his left foot, now plays it in, and it's once again sent away by Roberts.
Good front foot defending there from Aubrey. Be easy there to just drop off. Very proactive on the front foot. Gets TFC back into possession.
Alseth out for McCrary. McCrary working on that far side of the field, looking for an option to cross in. Andrews swing and a miss, and he just missed it. He was in an excellent scoring area.
Yeah, excellently timed run. McCrary picks him out. He doesn't just whip a nothing ball into the box. and it just slicks off this quick surface, and Andrews misses it.
And that's just the way it's been going for this Toronto team, as they have not been able to produce goals, but so far in the opening 21 and a half minutes, they've been able to produce a little bit of offense against this Bethlehem club.
Yeah, you're worried if they're not creating chances, and they look dangerous in the final third. McCrary down the right-hand side's been good.
This Bethlehem club has conceded just 9 goals in their 6 matches, so they have shown that they can be tough defensively. They've got 2 clean sheets to their record as well. Corey Burke a little too aggressive there, says the referee.
Good run in behind from the number 10 there. Just checks short. The TFC central defenders go with him to create that space in behind. Just going back to your point about Bethlehem being so good defensively, they're real compact. They know what their game plan is. They relinquish possession, drop back to their own half, and once TFC come into their half, they're like hounds. They're all over TFC too. TFC need to be composed under pressure and just play through the lines. That's where they've had their success.
Good battle there originally between Epps and Ashton Morgan, resulted in a Toronto free kick. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Go to uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Matt Reel pushing forward, meets a strong defensive wall from Toronto, and now the Young Reds have won a free kick. Frazier. Up for Spencer. He has Andrews looking to make a run through the middle and sends the dish off to Morgan on the left. Spencer again with it. Working against Wingate, and he's carried it out for a goal kick. Cavalluzzo comes out to meet that just ahead of Chris Nanko. And it's a free kick one here to Toronto. Obviously not the same number of supporters that we saw earlier today for Toronto against Minnesota, but a vocal supporter section here for the Young Reds tonight, Terry.
Yeah, the supporter section's top class behind the goal there. It's always great playing in front of your home fans. It gives you a little bit of an extra bit of buzz. Maybe hopefully will give this young TFC2 the little bit of lift they need after conceding early.
And as you mentioned off the top, Terry, tough sledding for Toronto. Just one of the first 7 games played at home. That was a 0-0 draw with Rochester all the way back on April 7th. So they started with 3 on the road, then came home for 1, and then another 3 on the road.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. 6 points isn't too bad. That maybe could have had 1 or 2 more. It's important now that they're coming home that they try to pick up some more. Just there, Uccello showing to feet. He needs to play higher up the pitch. Leave the number 6, Liam Fraser, more space to operate in.
Toronto will get a string of home games as next Friday against Tampa Bay. They'll be back at the Ontario Soccer Centre. And then the following Wednesday, the 24th, it's a noon kickoff against the Richmond Kickers. So 3 home games in the next 12 days.
This Bethlehem Steel team's a good side. I watched them play last week against Charleston, who are top of the league. They outpossessed them, dominated them in all areas of the pitch. They just lacked that cutting edge, which TFC2 has been missing. Got beat 1-0.
Andrews trying a long pass there for McCrary. Does well to intercept that back, and there's Uccello. Out wide to the right for McCrary. You can see the rain has stopped. The sun now shining here at BMO Field. Endo, couple of moves, looking to take a shot perhaps. Not yet. Comes to Uccello. Now out for McCrary. Now Alseth. McGuire lost it momentarily. Andrews was there, but McGuire jumps back on it. And another opportunity there for Toronto. They have carried the play outside of the penalty that resulted in the opening goal for Bethlehem.
Good goalkeeping from McGuire. Brave, comes off his line, he's positive. Just before that on your pictures, you saw TFC actually had a nice little 3v2 overload out wide. For me, not too many goals are scored from deep crosses. I would have liked to seen TFC use that overload. Play your little Wando, play your sexy little soccer stuff in that corner. Try to get to the byline.
Alseth plays that back for Brandon Aubrey. To the near side for Mitch Tainter.
Definitely a better spell for TFC2. They looked a little bit nervy the first 10-15 minutes. One or two touches were getting away from them. I know it was difficult conditions with the rain. I think they've settled into the game nicely.
It's Chambers who pushes forward. Good slide there from Endo to break it up. Now he's won it back a second time. Spencer takes a tumble as he was trying to win it back. Played it on the near side for Aaron Jones. And now McGuire. Frazier heads it forward. Aggressive challenge there from McCrary. And the referee will signal a free kick to Bethlehem.
Just gets caught on his heels. I think he needs to expect that Alseth's going to win that header. McKenzie just beats Andrews to the ball.
Morgan pushed forward trying to win that loose ball. Referee looked like he might want to call something, decides against it, and Toronto mounts the counter. Morgan still with it. Morgan crossed in, comes back to him a third time, but instead it is cleared away by Hugh Roberts, and it's going to be out for a throw as he was able to get it out on the side. And now Endo whistled for a foul. Good work there from Ashton Morgan, though, showing some confidence down the left side.
Yeah, great little cameo from Morgan, showing no ill effects of that foot injury. Great starting positions, reads that square ball. Good refereeing. You saw how quickly Jones gets up, no foul at all, and then good strength to just hold the defender off and get his cross in.
This will be the first of 3 meetings between these two clubs this season. They'll meet again in Bethlehem on August 13th, and then back at Toronto at the Ontario Soccer Centre on a Friday night in October, October the 6th. Frazier whistled for the push in the back there of Corey Burke, and it'll be another free kick for Bethlehem.
The stop starts, all the fouls, the referee blowing his whistles. This will suit the Bethlehem Steel, just getting TFC2 out of their rhythm. Liam Fraser, who just committed the foul there, another academy product that the club have high hopes for. He too was involved in the U20 World Cup qualifying in Panama for Canada.
Chambers stands over it. Now takes, lofts it up, and it's chipped out. And it'll be a goal kick. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
I know TFC too want to play out of the back, and it's the way the game should be played, and they're very good at it, and it's similar to academy football, but there's times where the Bethlehem Steel, you can see that they're going to press high just like that, and Cavaluzzo's got excellent distribution. He really has a ping on him, and so far Ben Spencer up top hasn't lost a ball. Sometimes to beat that press, just go a little bit more direct, get the ball into Ben Spencer, then as a midfielder, 100% I'd gamble off him winning it.
Alseth plays that up for Spencer. This is Endo. Alseth now for Aubrey. Tainter. Frazier. Nearly tripped up there, maintains his footing and finds Tainter. Back for Cavaluzzo. Cavaluzzo making his 6th straight start for Toronto FC2. Mark Pace had the opening 2 games of the season and then was brought up to the first team with the injury to Clint Irwin. Pace is available as a reserve here tonight, but Cavaluzzo has been fantastic so far this season, so he earns the start once again. And with Irwin back to full health, wonder if we will see Mark Pace back in goal for TFC2, perhaps even Friday night when Tampa Bay comes to town.
Today, but looked like Bono, he played the last 20 minutes after TFC used all their substitutes, and they couldn't bring another one on. I think we might have seen Clint Irwin come on. It looked like he pulled his hamstring today against Minnesota in the game earlier, so Pace could be up with the first team a little bit longer. Cavaluzzo, though, what a wonderful human being and character. He works his socks off. He appreciates the game so much. He doesn't take one training session for granted. He actually works in the academy as well as a goalkeeper coach. Just loves the sport.
Yeah, interviewing him after the only other home game of the season, and just his enthusiasm for the game is unmatched for sure. And
he showed great character as well to come back in his first game against Orlando City, comes out and drops one, and the team gets beat 3-1, but what a great reaction to that after conceding.
Didn't give up another goal for a month after that.
Yeah, 3rd player of the month, save of the week, and the one goal he does give up was goal of the week. It was an absolute rocket from the Pittsburgh Riverhound player Suto last week, right into the top corner. If you get a chance, go onto the USL website and watch that phenomenal strike. As
you mentioned, he was nominated for Player of the Month in April, and so they take, as we see, we'll get back to that in a second. There's an opportunity for Toronto. Cross in looking for Spencer. It's deflected away for a corner. Just to finish up that thought on Cavaluzzo, they use a media vote, a fan vote, and an overall USL vote. And he finished 2nd place in the fan vote with 23%. It was Conardo Forbes who ended up winning Player of the Month for April.
He had a hat trick for San Antonio. Hard to compete with that.
Endo swings this in. Comes down for Aubrey, and he was not able to get a lot behind it. But another good opportunity there from the set piece for Toronto. It'll be out now for the Toronto throw. It's an injured Bethlehem player down on the pitch. Just removing the right glove from his hand, but it does look like it might be a problem with the right leg that he's experiencing. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. So stay up to date with them and all the latest news and information around the league by visiting uslsoccer.com. Follow them on Twitter at USL. As Terry mentioned earlier, tons of highlights up there. You can see the goal of the week, the goals of the week, and all the other awards that are handed out, such as Player of the Month that we were talking about earlier. So we are less than 10 minutes to halftime now. The only goal of the match so far belongs to Corey Burke, his first of the season, on a penalty. That was won when Marcus Epps was taken down by Mitch Tainer in the area.
I like Corey Burke. He plays just in behind Kone up top. The two are a handful. Sometimes you'll see them interchange. He was actually on loan last season from Rivoli, a Jamaican side. Did really well last year, and the move was made permanent at the end of this season. Last year he had 4 goals in 20 appearances. He's got good movement. A lot of 10s look to get it to feet. I like how he's got the he's dynamic enough to run in behind, and when he runs in behind, create space for the 2 wide players, Epps to get on the ball, Nanko to get on it, even Kone to come get it to feet.
His 4 goals last season were 3rd on the club, behind 5 each from Ryan Richter and Derek Jones. Richter no longer with the club, and Jones has only played a couple of matches so far this season, so he is one of the top goal-scoring threats on the club at the moment.
Good to see ex-TFC player Ryan Richter doing well. He found a nice home with the New York Cosmos, Matt.
Played in low. Shot is blocked by a sliding challenge there of Morgan. Lifted into the box once again, headed forward, and Cavalluzzo runs out to meet it.
Great play there from Cavalluzzo. Reads a knockback header, is off his line quick. I think possibly Seth or Aubrey just lost Kone, just peeled off his shoulder. Cavalluzzo was out to the rescue.
Morgan tries to head that forward for Spencer. It is intercepted by Bethlehem, and now they'll have an opportunity on the counter, but that's thwarted by Alseth.
Just before that, we saw Ben Spencer, the ball come into me. He wins it again. Andrews just needs to give Morgan a shout. He had time. He didn't need to head that.
Wingate being watched by Spencer, and now played back for Hugh Roberts. And all the way back to goalkeeper McGuire. Lofted forward by Frazier. Comes down for Ashton Morgan. There's Mitch Tainer. Plays back for Cavalluzzo. Frazier at midfield, pushed down there by Nanko. And wins the free kick for Toronto inside the final 5 minutes of the opening half. Aubrey. Alseth and Uccello. Out for a throw. Should be taken by Jordan McCrary. Native of Alpharetta, Georgia. There's Ben Spencer. New Mexico native on this multicultural Toronto lineup here tonight. Cross in, looking for Spencer. He collides with McGuire. The ball jars free momentarily, but McGuire gets back on it.
Just needs a little bit more quality on that ball. Just before he crosses it, he takes a look into the box. He doesn't even need to look into the box. When you're that far up the pitch, just whip it in. And the runs from the two strikers for me, Matt, not to be too negative, were too straight. Andrews needs to be going to that near post, and big Ben Spencer needs to be coming around to the back post. Just a little bit too static in the box.
Good midfield battle there. Comes loose for Aaron Jones. He's going to push it out right for Epps. Epps works into the area, one-on-one against Morgan, takes it to his left. Good sliding block there once again by Toronto. Jones again. Jones will loft it in, and that will go all the way out as he was looking for Corey Burke at the back post.
Fantastic one-on-one defending from Ashton Morgan. He's down low in that crouch position. He's moving his feet. Just as he checks inside, he gets the help he needs from his center half partner, Mitch Tainter. Beautiful, brave block from Tainter.
Cavalluzzo unhappy with himself. You saw the look of exasperation on his face following that goal kick, but Toronto's got possession. And this will come all the way back to their keeper once more, who will play it short to captain Mitch Tainter. Headed forward by Roberts. Chambers will run onto it. There's Jones. Jones pushing forward. Plays it into the middle. Wingate couldn't get there before Luca Uccello, but it's given away. And now Wingate. Good work there by Kone. Now Jones. That's Epps. Against Morgan once more. And that's out for a corner, as they're going to rule last touch to Ashton Morgan.
Epps does quite well. He easily could have gone down there with that contact from Ashton Morgan. Not 100% sure that Ashton got any contact on the ball for the corner kick.
Played short. Comes back for Chambers. He'll chip it in. And it's over the goal and out for a goal kick. So we're into the final 30 seconds of the opening half. Believe there will be 1 minute of added time. Frazier. There it is, the official announcement of 1 minute of added time. It's Mark McKenzie who plays it up. Nanko looking for Sekou Kone in the middle. They decide instead to play it back. Here's Aaron Jones. Good defending there by Frazier on Corey Burke. Frazier. Last touch is Endo, and there is the first half whistle. It's a 1-0 advantage for Bethlehem after the opening 45 minutes. Terry, despite being down a goal, Toronto played pretty well in that opening half.
I think they did okay. They possessed the ball and passed it all right. I think they need to bypass that front three, try to get the ball into McCrary and Morgan a little bit more. Also get closer to Chambers in midfield. They're matched up in there. Uccello, Endo, and Fraser. It's man for man in there, and at the moment, Bethlehem Steel are just dictating it a little bit. And I'd like to see Fraser also be more positive with his passing.
It's a scoreless opening half for Toronto, but Bethlehem is on the board. A 9th-minute goal on the penalty kick from Corey Burke has given the visitors the lead. We'll have more when the halftime continues here at BMO Field. Great chance to grab a snack, grab a beverage here at halftime at BMO Field. The fans are into it. The Young Reds playing here at BMO Field, however, down 1-0 to Bethlehem Steel FC after the opening 45 minutes, but an entertaining period of soccer nonetheless. Terry, we mentioned before going to break, an okay first half for Toronto. You mentioned during the game that they looked a bit nervy in the first 5 minutes. Perhaps the stage of playing in the bigger stadium at home getting to them a bit?
Possibly a little bit of that. I thought the Bethlehem Steel came out and were really in the faces of TFC too. What I'd like to see these young players do is really grasp that opportunity with two hands. There'll be first-team players that have stayed to watch this, and you know what I'd like to see in that final third is players be brave, really take players on, go past players, try to create overloads. And at the moment, it's been okay, but I'd like to see someone really get these fans off their seat. And as you can see, the stats here show there's not a huge difference in it.
So those are the stats that you see. The shot 7-5 for Toronto. Let's take a look at the highlights, however. In Toronto, the first good opportunity here in the 4th minute.
Yeah, good link-up play from the front, too. Comes into Ben Spencer, just off signing his new deal. Solid strike into the keeper.
Marcus Epps doing work for Bethlehem as he was pulled down in the penalty area by Tainer, and Corey Burke makes no mistake.
Yeah, Mitch Tainer gets caught wrong side, just gets tangled up with his heels. Doesn't need to do it. Aubrey's round on the cover, and Burke tucks it away.
After that, Toronto had the majority of the opportunities, as there we see Andrews and McCrary teaming up for an opportunity.
Yeah, TFC2 look dangerous when they get their two wingbacks involved higher up the pitch. McCrary and Ashton Morgan look dangerous out wide. They both have excellent ability and great crossing technique.
Subasa Endo trying to put his mark on the game as well. And Liam Frazier had a strike from distance.
That looked a little bit rash from Wingate on Andrews. Just gets enough on the ball for the referee not to give a penalty.
So no goals for Toronto in that opening half, but certainly some opportunities, and perhaps the second half will have a comeback victory in store. 1-0 at the half, Bethlehem and Toronto.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities, and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Just about ready to go for the second half here at BMO Field. As we mentioned, the rain subsiding about 5-10 minutes into that opening half, and it has just been a absolutely fantastic night for football. 13 degrees Celsius, clear skies, and a good evening for everybody down on the pitch. Terry, you were able to speak to head coach Jason Bent earlier this week. What were some of his thoughts and impressions about this matchup leading up to it?
Oh, he was buzzing, and so was the group. They were really looking forward to it, and I think they played all right, as we touched on at the end of the first half, but I think one or two just played within themselves a little bit, and I think at halftime we will have said to the group, go out there, express yourself, try to play with a little bit more freedom, a little bit more creativity in that final third, try to go from back to front a little bit quicker, try to be a little bit less negative with our passing, and when they did do that, the team looked very bright and were able to open the Bethlehem Steel up a couple of times.
So Jason Benton will have 3 substitutions at his disposal. Again, only 3 this year. It was 5 in the previous years in the USL. So 3 substitutions at his disposal. Which of the names on the bench jump out at you as somebody that he might turn to spark the offense a little bit?
Brian James, he's been excellent this year in midfield. He's played as a 6 and also as a number 8. He's very comfortable on the ball, and I think he'd relish playing in this environment in the big stadium. Luis Pereira is an interesting one, Panamanian international. He's only has a couple of caps, but he plays as a number 6. Paperwork's just come through with him, and of course Shawn Hunter and Ryan Telfer can give you a little bit more up top in the attack if needed.
On the Bethlehem side, they're probably pretty happy with their opening 45. Again, probably conceded a little bit more than maybe they would have liked, but they were able to get the one opportunity and capitalize on it. And as we mentioned, they said they wanted to come in and take the 3 points on the road. Weren't going to be happy with just one, and so far they've done everything that they've wanted to, I'm sure. Yeah,
I think they'll be happy. I think they've played the Bethlehem Steel way. They've no surprises at all whatsoever. They've let TFC have the boatload of possession, but they've looked very dangerous on the counter, especially their wide players, Epps and Nanko, and I think Kone and Burke have been a handful through the middle of the park.
So we do see one substitution used already by Jason Bent, and it is Ryan Telfer coming off the bench, replacing Ashton Morgan. So predictably, probably just a 45-minute stint for Ashton Morgan as he continues his rehabilitation from that foot injury that's kept him out all season. And Telfer, an offensive-minded player. He has one of the 2 Toronto goals this season, scored the opening goal of the season at Phoenix. And we saw him in the game at the Ontario Soccer Centre back in April as well, and he was creating some opportunities for the team that night as well. So perhaps some offensive punch being added to the lineup here.
Yeah. First on Ashton Morgan, I thought he had a good half. He was one of TFC's better players. Good 45 minutes under his belt after coming off that foot injury. That metatarsal injury is one you definitely need to be careful with, and they're just building his fitness up. Telfer will give you more going forward. He can play up front as a 9 or also out wide on the left. Local boy, went to one of the local universities, came in, worked hard in the offseason on trial, and really earned himself a deal and works his socks off on the training pitch.
Yeah, product of York University, the program they've got up there. There's Alseth. Endo. Looks like Telfer is going to slide into that wing position on the left side that Morgan was occupying, so it does not look like there will be any sort of tactical or formation change, just a straight sub-in of Telfer for Morgan.
Good quick feet there from Andrews, just beats the defender, draws a free kick in a great area. Yeah, Telfer will just give you a little bit more going forward, a little bit more attacking than Ashton Morgan. Probably doesn't have the same quality and delivery as Ashton Morgan, a little bit more direct, unpredictable.
Free kick here for Toronto will be taken by Endo. So we are just back underway here in the second half at BMO Field. I'm Anthony Antonio. Terry Dunfield is sitting to my left, bringing you all of the action here tonight.
Not the best angle on this. I'd like to see him go wide first and then the ball put into the box.
Looks like he's sizing it up as well, thinking along those same lines perhaps, but it's headed away. Here's Endo. Long ball pulled down by McCrary. McCrary, a second opportunity, has a strike, and it's deflected away off a Bethlehem defender's foot.
Yeah, good block there from Real. Great little bit of quality from Endo. We see what Endo's all about with his left foot, picks out McCreary on the right-hand side, cuts inside, and just at the last minute, Real makes a great block. First appearance of the season for the Bethlehem Steel.
Toronto picking up where they left off in that first half. They've been creating the offense, getting the ball in and around the area. They just have not been able to get anything past Jake McGuire.
We spoke about it just before halftime, trying to get in behind, out wide, the front three of the Bethlehem Steel. That TFC had some joy getting it into Ashton Morgan and McCreary. There's another great example of it.
Here's Alseth. Push forward there by Aubrey. Collected by Telfer. Now Uccello. Tainer. This comes down to Spencer. Alseth able to chip it past the charging midfielder. Alseth still with it, pushing forward. Able to get it out wide for Jordan McCreary. McCreary chipped in. Looked like it was played over the intended target. It comes back to Alseth. Toronto maintains possession. Out wide for Endo. Endo pushing forward. McCreary looking to cross in. He does, and accomplish exactly what he was hoping to do, just chipping it off Matt Real. And it's out for the first corner of the second half for Toronto. But they have come out looking for that equalizer here in the second half.
Definitely having some joy down this right-hand side. Great play from first-team player Endo. Drives at the fullback, waits to commit him, and just slips it to McCreary. McCreary just doesn't pick the right ball. Just needs to cut it back to Endo. He was in acres at the edge of the box.
This, they're going to roll. It was out off of Icom Andrews. And it will be a goal kick for Jake McGuire.
Wasn't involved too much in the first half already. Endo looking very dangerous, picking the ball up in some good spots. His distribution's excellent. It's been a little bit of a tough season for Endo. He had a lot of first-team appearances last year. This year, he's found it tough to crack the lineup. He had an opportunity against the Philadelphia Union away from home. Didn't go great in that wide wing-back role. He came in for Beta Shore. Just needs to be patient, and when his chance does come, he has to grasp it with both hands for the first minute. There's a lot of first-team games coming up with the Amway Cup. Good example of that is Marky Delgado, who's been excellent for the first team since he got his chance.
There's an opportunity. That's Uccello, and it's stopped by McGuire. Or no, they're going to say it went right over, and it's going to be a goal kick. I thought he got a piece of that, but it appears that Uccello just sent it right over the goal.
One of Ben Spencer's attributes is, as a number 9, he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He just pulls off the back four, picks it up in a little bit of space. Great forward run from midfielder Uccello. Ben Spencer slides it right into his path. He doesn't even need to take a touch. Unfortunately, he's just leaning back as he slides with his left foot. He puts it over the crossbar.
Thought for a moment Luca Uccello would have his third goal in as many games against Bethlehem, but it was not to be. But Toronto pressing again. Here's Telfer. He's going to push forward. He's got Spencer with him. He's going to have a go, and McGuire will make the save again.
Great positive play from Ryan Telfer. Picks a pocket of the Bethlehem Steel player. Runs all 40 yards with the ball. He's direct. He's powerful. He just eats up yards with that long stride. Good strike onto target. Maybe could have taken it another step. The big center half, McKenzie, did not want to go out to him. Sorry, it wasn't McKenzie, it was Roberts.
There's Burke with a goal. A go at goal. Let's get one more look at the opportunity here from Ryan Telfer.
Real direct play from him. Doesn't even look to pass the ball. He says, you know what, I'm going to be the player that makes things happen. Good strike with his left foot. Again, good handling from McGuire in net off a wet, slick surface.
Intercepted at midfield by Frazier. That goes off the back of the foot of Endo, and it's turned over at midfield, and here's a quick counter for Bethlehem. That's Nanko. He'll put it on goal, and Cavaluzzo is equal to the task.
The Toronto native, Nanko, again looking lively. Just skips past. Alseth comes inside, looking for that curler where you shape it outside the post and bring it in. Just not enough power and whip to trouble Cavaluzzo.
Alseth nearly has his pocket picked by Sekou Kone.
Much better second half for both sides.
And now another opportunity. It's Spencer forward, but once again right at Jake McGuire. They're forcing him into stops, but he really hasn't had to do a lot of work in those stops. Not top quality scoring opportunities for Toronto just yet.
I think it's been good. They're creating opportunities. That was some clever play. Little over, comes into Andrews. Great play from the front two, working off one another. Just slides it into the path of Ben Spencer. Can't quite get enough power on it. Roberts marshals him well. Looks like Malik Johnson's getting ready to go on. No, sorry, that's Andrews. Change of footwear.
There you see Andrews on the bench. Quickly going to try and get that fixed. So Toronto a little bit short right now. There's Nanko. Real. Nanko, Burke wasn't able to have a go. And there's Wingate. There's a strike, and it's over the goal. Off the right foot, believe that was Epps.
It's one thing this season with the change of system. TFC looked very difficult to break down. A lot of attention to details gone into it. The recovery runs this year have been so much better, and I think this 3-5-2 system really suits this group. They just need to find some offensive production in it.
So come all the way back to McGuire.
I'd like to see Endo and Uccello really gamble. I touched on it in the first half. When Cavaluzzo goes long into Ben Spencer, he's won everything in the air. Gamble that he's going to win it. You've got Liam Frazier as your safety valve just in behind you, even if he doesn't win it. Good ballman from TFC too. Didn't panic at all. Played their way out of the press from the Bethlehem Steel.
There's Telfer. Once again, crossed in, looking to pick out Andrews. Spencer with a semi-bicycle kick, and it's going to land in the area and roll out wide for McCrary. Alseth for Endo. Subasa Endo. He's going to have a go, and that's well wide. Realize couldn't play it in for Andrews. Fans, stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC. That's channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Looks like Andrews hurt his wrist. Just at the near post, he tries to get across Roberts.
And he does look to be in some discomfort.
Seen the physio there. Do you know who that is? Andy just waved to the bench.
Looks like it might be Shawn Hunter who will come on. So Hunter, who had some success against this club last season, had a brace in the goal at Bethlehem on July 31st. 2 of his 6 goals that led the team, tied for the team lead with Reem Edwards last season.
Ben Spencer just needs to save his energy, be a little bit smart there. You've only got 10 players on the pitch. Don't go chasing that ball.
And in the 59th minute, we will see the second substitution, this one out of necessity. It's Shawn Hunter making his 4th appearance of this season. What do we expect to see from Hunter bringing to this game?
Another exciting academy product. Played a lot of football as a 16-year-old last year. In the off-season, spent a lot of the time in the gym. He's a lot bigger and stronger this year. To be fair to him, there's not many holes in his game. He's able to hold the ball up. He's got decent technique. He's got goals in him. His movement's good. He's got the ability and the pace to run in behind. Just needs to keep developing as he is, which is a lot easier said than done. I think he'll be good. Him and Ben Spencer be a good partnership. He'll be able to play off Ben's flicks.
These TFC fans would certainly like to see a repeat of some of that magic from last season from Shawn Hunter.
Yeah, he'll become a fan favorite up at the Ontario Soccer Centre. He works really hard defensively as well. He doesn't give the defenders a second.
There's McCreary crossed in and just couldn't find a proper seam for a red jersey. It was collected by a white jersey and cleared, but only as far as Ulseth. It's the second half, first 15 minutes, almost entirely in the end to our right, Terry. Hunter for Endo. Ulseth.
That's better from TFC too, building it up, trying to find that ball instead of putting a nothing ball into the box. Now put it in.
McCreary. That goes off the head of Hunter. Will come down. Telfer is able to scoop it up. He's watched by Aaron Jones. Endo, a little bit of a heavy touch, but he's able to get it back. Endo crossed, and it's just behind Ben Spencer. Telfer with a cross in, and it's deflected and out for a throw. And Ben Spencer was incensed at the referee there.
Yeah, I think he felt there was a handball in the center half there. Normally quite cool and collected. TFC did very well. That attack had second and third phase. The midfielders were picking up all the second balls there to keep the attack alive.
Ulseth, heavy push in the back there from Kone, and it will be a free kick to Toronto.
This free kick's a better angle for Subasa Endo to whip it in. Some big targets in the team with Ben Spencer, Tainter, Aubrey, Ulseth,
Telfer.
Liam Fraser, Telfer. We've seen Liam Fraser last season score a couple offset pieces late in games.
Fraser had a goal against this club last year as well. Comes in for Hunter off his chest, and he was not able to turn and fire a shot towards goal.
If I'm a little bit critical of Shawn Hunter, that's probably the one thing that he needs to work on when that ball does come into him. If the ball's not great, just the technique to be able to kill it. He's got great players at the club like Josie Altidore who when that ball goes into him, for a big man, his feet are soft, his body's soft. He just relaxes, holds that ball up, and he doesn't try to turn with it. He just plays the way he's facing. That ball should come into Shawn Hunter there and then go back to a midfielder.
Spencer going to be whistled for the foul there. He's upset either at the referee or himself.
Great reaction from TFC too, Matt. Since halftime, they've come out on their front foot, proactive, picking up all the second balls in midfield. They're now on top in there. And once they do get that ball, it's not 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. It's straight out wide to McCreary or to Telfer on the other side.
There's Nanko. He's being watched closely by Alseth. Crossed in. Nobody able to get a foot to it, and now finally directed at goal, but blocked by Liam Frazier. McCreary goes down. Looked like he just tripped on the pitch there. I'm not sure he
No, it was a foul. The ref just played advantage. Definitely a foul.
There's Spencer now. Crossed in, just out of the reach of Hundo, and it rolls harmlessly through the area.
Another excellent move from Toronto in transition. 1-2, comes to Ben Spencer. Just needs a little bit more whip on it to give Shawn Hunter a chance at the back post.
There's McCreary. Crossed in, looking to pick out Spencer. Uccello will come together with Wingate. It's the Bethlehem midfielder who wins it away. But Toronto maintains possession again, now Endo. Uccello chips in, looking for Hundle. Comes down for Spencer, and it's just wide.
Again, it comes down this right-hand side. Liam Frazier picks up a second ball, comes to Mitch Tainter. Eventually finds its way to Uccello. Uccello puts a great ball in behind. TFC get a little bit lucky on the knockdown. Bethlehem Steel player puts it back into the center of the goal. Ben Spencer just misses the far post, hits it into the ground as you should. Big center half McKenzie does just enough probably to put him off, Matt.
The best opportunity of the evening so far for Toronto comes to Ben Spencer. And now we're going to see a yellow card here shown to Bethlehem. I believe that was Chris Nanko.
Ready with the sub, ready with the sub. Up here with me, please. Up here, yep.
We're going to see the first substitution. It's a Bethlehem substitution here. It's going to be Santi Moore. And Nanko will be coming out right after receiving that yellow card. The 15th yellow card of the season issued to Bethlehem. They had 14 entering today, which was tied for the 6th most in all of the USL. And that is number 15, so that will move them up that list.
No surprise the Bethlehem Steel are making a substitution. A little bit more defensive, played last year for the Charlotte Eagles.
Uccello with a strike, and it sails wide.
Good strike from distance from Uccello. The Steel are just starting to drop off a little bit, wary of that threat in behind from Shawn Hunter. Why not have a shot from there? That doesn't miss by too much. He's had a busy offseason, been into Panama, U20 qualifying for Canada. Didn't quite get to the World Cup. Was in Viareggio in Italy with TFC 3. At the Dallas Cup, again with TS3, with Danny Dicchio. Lots of football, lots of travel for him.
Offside flag up. So we are just over 20 minutes remaining here at BMO Field. Toronto has looked the better side, definitely in the second half. I would argue for most of tonight's game, but they do not yet have anything to show for it.
Passing in the second half has been much cleaner, it's been crisper, fewer touches. I think that's been their springboard for their good play in the second half. They've done everything. They've got in behind them. They've got crosses in. They just need that goal now. You feel as though it's coming. It's important, Matt, that they tempo up. Little things just like that. I love to see Angelo Cavaluccio. When the ball, the big fella Kone, he was called offside. Cavaluccio's quick to pick that ball up, get TFC2 going again. Keep that tempo up. It's a big shift from the supporters group. They were here probably at 2 o'clock following the first team. It's now almost at 7:30.
There are worse ways to spend a Saturday afternoon into the evening, other than that little 10-minute spurt just around kickoff where it rained.
I wonder if any of them will go to karaoke tonight.
Wouldn't rule it out.
That's rubbish banter from me.
There's Frazier. Endo. Cello. Hundle turns and fires, and it rolls wide once again.
Great disguise from Uccello. He shapes like he's going to go out wide to McCreary. Hundle just pulls off the left back Real, finds a little pocket of space. He actually had more time than he thought. If he would have checked his shoulder, he could have had another touch and possibly squared up McKenzie. Great little ball from Uccello.
We're going to see the third substitution of Jason Bentz here. It's going to be Onconi in for Tainter.
Yeah, we just saw on your pictures there, Cavaluccio came up for it. Mitch Tainter came across, tracked the run, and he cleared it. He just pulled up, possibly with some cramp or a little bit of an issue, a muscle issue. Onconi comes in. French left-sided center half. Spent some time with the Montreal Impact last year.
Born in Montreux, Switzerland. Will be tested off the first and clears that. As Toronto now working to the smoky end of the pitch.
Yeah, probably not a substitution Jason Bent wanted to make. He might have wanted to bring on Camargo or Brian James, more of an attacking substitution.
Free kick won there by Kone. Onconi disagrees, and he was looking to play it back right away. The referee will have a word with him. So as we mentioned, all three substitutions have been made by Toronto. Bethlehem manager Brendan Burke still has 2 at his disposal. That's out for a goal kick. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with them and all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Given away at midfield, taken back by Alseth. He's going to find Endo. Spencer. Uccello. Takes a deflection off Uccello and comes right to Frazier. Now there's Endo. Uccello. That's Alseth now. Uccello, Alseth, played in weakly and easily cleared. Comes back for Frazier. There's Telfer, trying to pick out Uccello. Difficult work there against the taller James Chambers. And this is out for a throw. McCrary quickly in for Uccello. Frazier. Endo. One touch back for Frazier, and again Endo. There's Hundle. Hundle working his way in. Hundle not able to get the shot away that he wanted.
Great soccer from TFC2 there. Nice little 1-2 from Endo and Liam Frazier. Endo just checks his shoulder beautifully, plays it into Hundle, and Hundle very positive when he picks it up. Easily could have tried to get a shot off.
That's headed up by Telfer in the wrong direction, however.
Yeah, Telfer and Aubrey just get in one another's way. Excellent ball in.
Alseth for Uccello. He's taken down, no foul, but looks like he's won the throw. Taken quickly for McCrary. There's Spencer off the side of the goal.
Again, some more very good play from TFC2. Great little ball around the corner. Watch this from Liam Frazier. Ben Spencer just lets it run across his body. Just his final execution isn't there. From this position, you need to go across the goalkeeper. You don't want to be aiming for that near post. If you go across the keeper, any rebound is straight at Shawn Hunter, or if you miscue it, Hunter's got to tap in as well. Great little ball from Liam Frazier.
That will roll all the way out for a goal kick down into the final 15. Quarter of an hour to be played here at BMO Field.
20 out.
It sounds like Marcus Epps is about to be subbed off. And the Welshman, Josh Hurd, coming in. So Marcus Epps is out, but he made his mark on the game, drawing the foul that led to the penalty that Corey Burke converted.
Both wingers were very lively, direct, caused TFC a lot of problems in the first half. Both Epps and Nanko, I was impressed with both of them.
Hurd scored 2 goals in 22 matches last season. That struck right off the back of Uccello. Comes back to Uccello again. Surrounded by white jerseys. Looking to cross. Snapped up by Maguire.
I've been in this position a number of times where TFC2, you're dominating in all categories. You're picking up second balls. You're keeping the ball extremely well. You're now playing forward. Your triangles in midfield are excellent. You're getting your slip balls into your strikers. It's important now that the team doesn't get frustrated. Just trust in what you're doing, and eventually that goal will come.
So we see the second look, and a third look at Uccello's opportunity. Mentioned Hurd had 2 goals last year. One of them came at Ontario Soccer Centre in the 3-2 Bethlehem loss to Toronto. 66th minute goal that made it 3-2.
He was actually selected by the Vancouver Whitecaps in 2016. Wasn't signed by them, and last year joined the Bethlehem Steel.
Sekou Kone holding that left shoulder, favoring that left arm a bit. And we'll see if Brandon Burke is forced into a third substitution as well. Looks like Kone is going to be all right to enter once he gets the clearance from the official.
The big man up front's been a handful. He's big, he's powerful, he's pacey. It's not easy leading the line on your own up top. He's comfortable receiving the ball to feet. A bit like Shawn Hunter, he'll run out behind as well. He's got 2 caps for the Liberian national team. I like him. I think he's a very good player at this level. Not 100% convinced he can make the step up to the MLS, get into the Philadelphia Union first team. He actually spent his youth career over in Holland, and spent time at the world-renowned famous Ajax Academy. So an excellent football grounding.
Under 10 minutes to go here at BMO. Terry mentioned it early, feels like a goal is forming for Toronto. They've got 10 minutes now to try and find that equalizer.
Sorry, Matt. It's important that they just don't change what they're doing. They're brave. Keep passing that ball. Keep passing it early. Don't take an extra touch.
Aggressive challenge there from Uccello. And it looks like it's Matthew Reel who's down in some discomfort, holding the right shin, ankle area.
Yeah, Uccello just catches him late. Silly fouls is something TFC2 don't want to do either right now, not concede any. Reel was the 3rd homegrown signing for the Philadelphia Union. Impressive performance for the left back. First start of the year.
And he looks like he's in some considerable discomfort as well. And I guess fortunate that Sekou Kone was good enough to return, because it does look like Matthew Reel is going to need to be subbed off here. See if we can get another look here.
Yeah, Uccello coming over, trying to block it. Just leaves a stud in his shin. Probably a little bit tired as well, chasing McCreary up and down the flank all game.
Once again, the referee says he wasn't ready. Alseth takes a deflection, and Roberts has to be quick to get that out for a throw-in. And there's the substitution. It's Matt Mahoney. So one Matt replaces another, as this Matt observes the substitute. So all 6 eligible substitutions have been made here.
It looks like midfielder Wingate. He'll drop into left back, and Matt Mahoney might come into midfield.
Alseth down there in some pain after a collision. Looks like he's holding his neck or his collarbone there. There's Frazier. One back almost by McCrary. Out for a throw. Chip forward for McCrary. Go cross in. A little bit too far for Telfer, who had run in from the left. Now Frazier. Cello. Alseth. Alseth taken down there.
Great reaction from Alseth. Probably a foul on him. Doesn't get the call. He doesn't complain. He's straight back up on his bike. Chases Kone down, rushes him in to a difficult long diagonal pass. My mistake, Mahoney, he's come in straight swap for real at left back. Chambers and Wingate, they're still sat in front of the back four in a double pivot.
Comes down for Spencer, looking for some support, and he just left it there, and the closest player was a white jersey. It was Aaron Jones, who was able to get it out past midfield for Bethlehem. Yep. 5 minutes to go here at BMO.
Great movement from Ben Spencer. Checks short. He's come short a fair bit. This time he goes in behind. Good first touch, and just a tired sort of second touch. Looking a little bit leggy. I'm not sure he's gone 90 minutes yet this season.
Endo up for Hundle. Hundle working against Mahoney. Hundle stopped by McGuire and cleared for a corner.
Great play from Hundle. Runs the channel. Squares Mahoney up one-on-one. This is almost like Javinko in Columbus. Checks inside to his left foot and just tries to curl it into the far corner. McGuire's up to the task. Just punches it away.
Punched away by McGuire off the corner. But they're going to say there was some contact inside the area by Toronto. Looks like Ben Spencer is the guilty party as he helps Jake McGuire back to his feet. So McGuire will get us back underway. Under 4 minutes to go here at BMO Field. Best scoring opportunity of the evening just came from Shawn Hunter, his left-footed strike, and a great save by McGuire diving to his right.
I love the enthusiasm from Uccello there. I see that he wants to get the ball back, but just stay on your feet. Don't give the referee an opportunity to blow your whistle. Stop the game. Wingate's fine, a little bit of gamemanship, but it just knocks any rhythm out of the game.
Mark McKenzie playing the role of physio there, stretching him out. Cavalluzzo, who's been arguably the MVP of TFC2 so far this season. We've seen a number of matches where he's had to make some spectacular saves, and he had the double-digit save performance at Ottawa a couple of weeks ago. He hasn't had a lot to do so far through 87 minutes tonight. A couple of saves and difficult task trying to stop the penalty, and was not able to do so.
Yeah, he's had a couple decisions to make coming off his line where he's got that right, but I think his distribution's been excellent. He's hit some great balls up to Ben Spencer, but no, the team's protected him well. Team was just punished for a little bit of a slow start.
There's Telfer. As the noise and anticipation builds in BMO. Telfer trying to cross in. Looked like it was deflected. It'll be out for a corner. And while we set that up, we'll remind you that Nike is an official sponsor of the United Soccer League. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Swung in and easily headed away. Not a good corner there taken by Endo. And it's going to be a free kick here to Bethlehem, as I believe that was Alseth committing the foul.
Substitute Josh Hurd does extremely well there. Holds the ball up, waits for the contact to come, just sucks Alseth in, nicks it past him, draws the foul, eats up some more time.
Alseth heads that away. Looked like that might have been carried out, but the referee's assistant deciding it was not. And now Spencer with an opportunity pushing forward. Stops up for Uccello. He has McCrary to the right, finds him. McCrary looks like he wants to cross it in, trying to get around Mahoney. And he'll play that out for a corner.
Nice direct play there from McCreary. We're just waiting for the trick, and I think he tricked himself out in the end. But that positive play earns TFC a corner, and Jason Bent spoke about this today. Possibly a set piece could be the way they score.
Better ball played in there by Endo. As Frazier, sorry, excuse me, that was Alseth, number 27. That takes a deflection. 4 minutes of added time here at BMO Field. Toronto pushing hard for that equalizer. We saw so many times last season at Ontario Soccer Centre, late game dramatics. Will we get some here today at BMO? Ball played forward for Kone. Sekou Kone sizing up his options. On goal, Cavalluzzo makes the stop, and it's cleared by Onconi.
Good play from Burke. Just beats the TFC player from it. Good timing of the run from Kone. Comes in here. Good defending from Onconi. Takes away the far post, and Cavalluzzo's up to make the save.
We just talked about how he had probably nothing to do in the entire second half and forced into a difficult and good save there.
Save he should make, though.
Absolutely.
The defending from Onconi makes it really easy. He does well there. Just takes that back post out. Only gives Kone that near post to shoot.
Now Bethlehem will just try and trap it in the corner. Let's kill some time here.
This is where it's nice that they've changed the rule of 5 substitutions to 3. If you're winning at this point, this is where coaches would make substitution 4 or substitution number 5, and the game would just peter out.
No substitutions left on either side. It's thrown into Cavalluzzo, and he'll push it up for Onconi. Brandon Onconi, the Swiss native. Gets it back again. Toronto has a little over a minute and a half. Alseth. Back from McCrary. Trying to play that in for Hundle, who's making a diagonal run. One back by Frazier. There's Alseth. Onconi. Uccello. Now McCreary on the near sideline.
1 minute.
Punched out by Moore, I believe that was. Alseth loses the handle. Good challenge there. And it's Kone who's going to push up the field. Tries to get it by Aubrey. Cavalluzzo's out to meet it. Under a minute to go here at BMO Field. Uccello pushes forward for Telfer. Telfer not able to find a teammate, and it's cleared all the way back to Cavalluzzo, who's about 20 yards out of the area. Past midfield is Uncani. Frazier. Uccello. McCreary. McCreary crossed in off the head of Spencer. Collected by McGuire, and that'll just about do it. There's the final whistle. It's a 1-0 final for Bethlehem. A 9th-minute goal from Corey Burke gives the visitors the victory, Terry.
Yeah, it was a valiant second-half performance from TFC2. They created 4 or 5 chances. I thought McCreary was excellent on the right-hand side, tired a little bit in the last 10 minutes. I thought the partnership at the center back for the Bethlehem Steel, McKenzie and Roberts, was excellent. Telfer came on the left-hand side for Ashton Morgan. I thought he made an impression. An important 45 minutes for Ashton Morgan coming back from injury.
So a tough luck loss, you could say, for Toronto. Probably deserved a point, but they will get none. And Bethlehem come on the road and take all 3. We'll have more to wrap things up from BMO Field. 1-0 is the final. As the sun sets on BMO Field, so too does the sun set on our broadcast here this evening, but we have a few final thoughts to pass your way before we wrap up and send you on your way on this beautiful Saturday night in Toronto. Let's take a look at the full-time stats. 21 shots for Toronto directed at the goal, 7 on the goal. And that board there, Terry, shows a dominant performance from Toronto.
Yeah, they were very good, especially in the second half, created numerous opportunities, Got in behind Bethlehem, especially down TFC's right-hand side. Didn't really create that clear-cut chance that really tested McGuire, but Jason Bent will definitely be happy with that second half performance, something to work on for a tough game next against the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, they'll have to build off that for sure. Tampa Bay comes in, one of the better teams in the league, and on that note, we'll pass along the information that's our next broadcast. It'll be this coming Friday night, May 19th. Tampa Bay coming in. Toronto will look to avenge that 4-0 loss that they suffered earlier in the season It's a 5 o'clock kickoff on Friday night, the second of the 3-game homestand for Toronto. Tonight, they fall 1-0 to Bethlehem, the first of 3 meetings with their rivals from Pennsylvania. A hard-fought performance, but ultimately no points for Toronto. We'll be back with you on Friday evening. For Terry Dunfield and our entire crew, I'm Matt DiNicolantonio. Good night from BMO Field. Have an excellent Saturday evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.